I know that human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
Hello and welcome to the Spoilt Milk Movie Podcast. Here at Spoilt Milk, we're going to be discussing, dissecting and destroying guilty pleasure movies. We'll then decide whether we believe the film is truly spoilt milk or if it's ascended into a fine, luxurious cheese. So without further ado, let's get cracking.
Hello, Georgie. Would you like a balloon? It floats.
Hey, Pennywise, would you like a cough drop?
Well, yeah, yes I would.
Here you go, fella.
Well, that just feels like I want to sing!
Now I want to kick us off with the second half, talking about the second part of the film where we're seeing people as adults. And I want to know how many times we can watch somebody pick up a phone, look gutted, and then stare into the camera until it fades out. How many times would you like to see that in a film, Katty?
Definitely no more than 7 times.
Well, you're in luck, because we had 7 phone calls where someone answered a phone call, looked gutted, then it faded. What the fuck? Like, that was too many. Find another way. Fax machine, like letter, carrier pigeon. Yeah, fucking send anything. Couldn't anyone be like down the road and Mike just like sends his mate, or go tell him every time? And I was like, how is he getting all their numbers? This isn't like the day of mobile phone.
Operator.
He did work in a library as well, didn't he? He's got the information.
Phone books.
Oh, I liked that hand movement.
Bill-
Sorry, you couldn't see it. There was a
That's
finger
how you
stroking
do-
going on.
If you're not doing this and running your finger down on a phone book, you've never used a phone book before.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
You're just going to lose your place. I mean,
But Bill lived in England with his sweet ponytail.
Did he live in England then?
Yeah.
With Audra?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, because they were in like some right fancy house,
Like
wasn't
a
it? And it
castle.
went to like, it give you a little banner underneath and like, blah, 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 England.
Really? I did not see that at all.
that's a good point. How did people used to call... You didn't have an international phone book. 'cause
Operator.
That'd be massive.
+44?
But how do you know who, like... Because obviously he's...
Oh,
probably
to
moved
find his
about,
number.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But because they haven't kept in touch, essentially, is what you figure out.
Maybe there's a register. Like if you move
There's
out,
certain registers.
if you move out your country, you've got to like register so like people can find you.
Yeah, maybe.
No, that you'd only register if you've done something wrong. So, I mean, maybe he's been so affected. Maybe that's the backstory and get. He's so affected by It the Clown that he's become
Licking kids' hands.
He's a celebrity. Maybe that helped.
Yeah, you were doing like some film stuff, weren't you?
Yeah, he was
Like,
basically Stephen King, wasn't he? Like a horror writer or something.
we're missing his sweet ponytail though.
Oh, that ponytail made me feel sick. I hated his little ratty ponytail. Oh, it was just awful. And then, like, his missus were alright.
Where did his mole come from as well? His
Yeah.
big, horrible,
Yeah, that
dirty mole.
that annoyed me. No, I mean, it was a horrible, dirty mold, but the thing is that it wasn't on the kid.
Yeah, he
No.
had a little tiny gravy stain, one.
This
But
looked
Big
like
Bill
a-
had Big Bill mole.
It looked like it'd been poked in the face by E.T.
Yeah, it did, yeah. And it's gone
Is that what
around big.
happens when E.T. touches you? You grow moles everywhere. like,
Yeah. Maybe he just touched
Cancerous
himself,
moles.
and that's what happened to himself. It was...
Just right across it.
Anyway, so Mike, bearer of good news, instead of just dealing with shit or calling in the experts, decides to bring his friends back, even though they'd all gone off and had quite alright lives, been successful. He was like, no, I'm going to drag you back into Derry.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a bit weird as well, the choice that he was the one who stayed and was poor.
Well,
Yeah.
Stephen, looking at you.
Ticking that box.
Yeah, exactly.
The particular box of let's make sure he's an exact stereotype.
Yeah.
A negative stereotype.
All he needed was some other things.
The other option would have been if he was one of the successful ones, he would have been a rapper.
Or in
Yeah.
prison.
Yeah.
Mm. So Mike rang round everyone. Everyone was quite happy to come back, happy if you will, apart from Stan. So Stan didn't take the news very well, did he?
No.
So why didn't he take the news so well? What happened that made him?
I think he was just a coward.
Yeah.
Basically,
Like-
that's what was insinuated, that he
was too old for FOMO.
Yeah, he'd grown out of FOMO.
No, but in the first one, they actually faced. We didn't actually mention that they faced off against him already, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, when they're like gathered around the little like what looks like a French toilet,
Yeah, a little hole in the
the
ground.
hole in floor,
Like Mac's mouth. Like that, like a very circular hole.
like a sewer grate for a
Yeah.
tiny Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. But
The ones who didn't grow. The little ones.
the tiny babies.
The ones who didn't mutate.
Yeah, normal turtles. Every other kind of turtle apart from the ninja ones.
Normal turtles can be ninjas.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't know.
They're there, odd in hands, like stood around this little grate, just like doing the thing, saying,
Thinking
I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I believe. Richie gets touched by the weird monster hands.
Yeah, the shoulder rubbing.
Getting
little massage.
massage from the hairiest man in the world.
Doesn't Pennywise like grab him and like hold him up or something?
Yeah, so Pennywise like grabs him, and that's
Grabs
when little Eddie's like, "This is battery acid, bitch."
Yeah, thirsty bitch. He sprays a gobload in his face.
So everyone's there, like, facing the fears. Like, Georgie comes for Bill, and everyone's like, no, it's not that, it's not that. Bev's dad comes, it's not that, it's not that. And Stanley's just there, and he's, like, reciting his little scout stuff.
Yeah, poor lip syncing as well.
He
isn't
doesn't face his fears in the end.
No, he
Essentially,
doesn't.
Pennywise gets it. And
Yeah.
only the other guys who would face the fears.
He's just like, oh man, I do my duty.
But do you ever find out what his fear actually is?
No, you don't, because he's just on the back of Bill's bike, isn't he, on the back of Silver.
I think his
And they're
fear.
riding off.
Hi-ho,
correct me
Silver
if I'm
away.
wrong, his fear is dying. Is that? I mean, that's a.
Or getting nonced.
Getting nonced. Or can you use that word in that? Like, can you?
To nonce.
To nonce. To be nonced.
To nonce or not to nonce.
We could do whatever we want. So yeah, his fear is just death by clown. So he's not unique enough.
Well, when he's in the house before like Richie comes and like saves him with his little silver bullet reference. Like he's in the house with his little bird watching book.
Yeah.
And like it's just Pennywise coming down the stairs with a mummy face.
Does he have a mummy face?
He's got like his face wrapped
yeah,
in
he goes
bandages.
into that house, doesn't he? Yeah.
I know in the book it's a lot more focused on the fact that the clown uses popular movies at that time in the 50s to scare him. So that's why Wolfman's in there, Mummy's in there, but in the book there's more than like classic. There's Frankenstein in the book.
Mrs. Kirsch.
Mrs.
Mrs. Kirsch
Kirsch.
and her gammy teeth.
Oh.
And her tea drinking.
It's not like she's gargling that like
She
a
is.
thirsty bitch.
She's chugging
Well,
that.
a thirsty bitch. I'm gutted. I've not had a chance to use this. You guys are killing thirsty bitch, and I'm.
So yeah, he pulls in references. It's not so much in the film, but there is like a mention of a mummy just after Stan's.
Yeah,
Been looking at tits.
He didn't get any proper backstory.
Sorry, I
think
gotta get a bird watching joke in there. So Stan's looking at some tits, and then he goes into that house, and a mummy comes down. So his is a mummy, but I feel like the whole film just brushes over Stan a bit.
Yeah, he's a bit of a shit character.
Yeah,
like
he is.
it's just like, yeah.
He's only there to die, isn't he?
Yeah, and then unfortunately he dies just before he's about to get a handy from his wife.
Well, I think it might be more than a handy.
Yeah, do you reckon? Because she's like, Stan, I'm coming up to scrub your back and
She
your
brings him a
chest.
beer at Bath.
And
A
what's
beer.
something more or something like that. Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna bring a beer and
Good wife. She knows how to wife.
It's not just a beer though. She's got a glass,
She has
so his beer
frosted
doesn't get
glass.
warm.
In a bath.
Like,
Well, it's got an handle.
Yeah,
why
true.
didn't we get more story of their lives grown up? before he died. Like,
Do you just want to know how much of a good wife she was to him?
just the shot where she's just jerking him off under the covers.
Whilst they're watching Price is Right.
Yeah, maybe he's doing something that equally deserves it. So maybe he's braiding her hair or something.
That's equal.
So getting your hair braided is equal to getting a handy.
Maybe she really likes getting her hair braided.
Yeah,
That's something he'd set up, right? I'm thinking, no, when people braid their hair, it's right, braid your hair if you give me a handy. And she's like, deal. And that's why they're a perfect couple, because you know what? Nothing's too ridiculous for them. I've already created a backstory for him. Now wait.
He loves braiding hair.
Did she
and
have
getting
short
handies.
hair as well?
Yeah, she did.
She loves giving handies. I mean, maybe that's it as well. So.
Yeah, she loves it.
I mean, this is a weird fetish that they both fell into.
Do you know what? On the subject of touching and handies, did anyone think there was a bit too much touching in this film? Like, everyone just loved touching each other. If it wasn't like the kids high-fiving and hugging and stuff, it was. Do you remember the bit where it cut to John Ritter telling that story, and then next thing he's massaging Bev's shoulders? I'm like, oh, get off!
creepy.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And they're just forever touching each other. And
Yeah,
I'm
but
like, get over it.
Bev and Ben,
Yeah, I mean
they were in love.
well, there was a bit of a triangle going on,
Yeah,
wasn't there?
that
Was
was-
it Bill? Was it Ben? The flower pot man. Sorry.
Like, maybe when they were kids, but then when they grew up and she saw Bill's sweet ponytail
Yeah,
and
when
his
she saw
right
rat.
gross mole,
Yeah, she's like,
she's like, nah.
someone
Nah,
else.
it's not for
I
me.
want someone who writes poems. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Your hair is winter fire. January embers.
My heart burns there.
too.
Was that Stephen King at his best?
It must have been.
I heard that Shakespeare wrote that.
But yeah, did anyone else not notice
I
that?
genuinely had to fact check that. Like, what? Is this a revelation?
But did no one else notice all the touching? It made me feel weird.
I didn't until now, but
They all kind of touched something when they were having the weird flashbacks. Like
Yeah.
Stanley with his ear,
Yeah.
and there was like Ben with like his face thing.
Stan's wife. With his cock. But yeah, so yeah, they all touched each other and touched themselves, and then they got back together and had a Chinese and let Mike pay. What was that about?
poor
The
guy.
And they're like, oh no, oh go on then. Like,
I get some of the group, but
Richie?
Yeah, he saw exactly the state.
So we've got a comedian who's been on like SNL or the equivalent of doing his little racist act about Chinese people, and then we have
Having a Chinese.
Yeah, it was about like Godzilla or whatever, and then there was Bill, who's like a well-established writer, and Mike, the guy who Bill earlier in the day is like, I'm glad you don't live in shit Port Town, and Mike's like, I do, and then he's like, you settle the bill, and they're not going in cheap.
But Ben,
They had like Bucks Fizz and a lot.
Ben's there with like his skyscraper getting hammered on like
Yeah.
whatever it
He
is,
had that
crystal.
brick mobile phone as well.
This is again, it's back. Like I get, maybe he wanted to do it, and so you'd let him do it, so it didn't affect his pride, because that's a nice thing.
But then you go back and pay it and get like, or like you slide like some 20s in his
you
pocket.
have something where the group did something in return that
Hand
made
Handies, handies for everyone.
braid his hair.
Like the Stan one there.
Maybe,
You'd have braided his hair.
maybe one of them could have braided his hair, the other one massaged his feet.
Yeah.
Little handy.
Yeah.
this sort of thing.
I didn't like your impression of a handy then.
Why didn't we have a montage like we did of the meal, the horrible montage that went on for ages of them having that meal? Or them fixing up his house, you know? Just like,
Oh, it's
having a
set
good
to some
time.
Motown of them all giving him a handy each, and him just loving it, and then getting to a point where it's too sore.
Slow-mo ejaculation, you know,
Oh God.
bit of pre-cum, all of it.
But no, they let him pay. They didn't give him a handy. It was just bad times for Mike again. Mike
Then he
just
gets
had
shanked.
it shit.
I feel
Yeah,
that group,
and then he gets shanked.
I feel that group also would have spoke about him behind his back, saying Mike smells a bit.
What's with the grey hair?
Yeah.
Mike.
We're all amazing. Why isn't Mike as amazing?
Why is he giving me a bike? Who does that? What grown man gives another grown man a kid's bike? Like, this is a weird gift.
And a puncture repair kit.
Yeah, but something just told him to buy that puncture repair kit.
Who buys a puncture repair kit? Who doesn't have a bike?
I know. Mike, obviously, because it
like,
rhymes with bike.
Ooh, me little inflatable donut ring for swimming pool's got an hole in it. I need to get a puncture repair kit.
There's no way Mike's got a pull.
Maybe he went to
Not
buy
even
a
a shit
donut
one.
ring and got the wrong kind. Like, he was thinking for his hemorrhoids. Like, I need a donut ring. Shit, I'm also senile.
Yeah, well, maybe if he went into the pharmacist where that guy's a bit of a horrible bastard, he probably did buy the wrong thing.
Was he actually an horrible bastard though?
Or was it just it?
Like, well, it seemed to write like taking over like old people. At
Yeah,
one
he
point.
did, didn't he? Like Mrs. Kirsch.
Mrs. Kirsch with a
Gammy
just-
teeth.
a gammy teeth and just properly hungry like the wolf.
Would you say she was a thirsty bitch?
She was a
She was.
proper thirsty bitch.
Nailed it.
She was like gargling that tea like a hooker on a pole.
Like Stan's wife.
I never noticed the gargling on the
Oh,
tea.
she was like,
Oh god, she were all over it. Like it was going out of fashion.
I feel I struggled to pay attention to this film.
I want to tell
You
you
were just
about.
too busy talking about handies, thinking about
I was
handies.
thinking of a backstory for all these characters. The film did such a bad. I was like, I bet he got a handy. That's his backstory. No, his backstory is he tried to get a handy, didn't. That's.
Yeah, you were just thinking about hair braiding. I just want to ask you guys: did any of you think at any point that the kids were it?
Like,
definitely
tag
didn't
your
think the
it.
kids were alright, if that's what you're asking.
No, I'm not asking that. But maybe Georgie's getting a bit too much attention, so Bill just offs him,
bites
throws
his
him
hand
down
off.
the sewer. I don't know, the bullies. They lure the bullies down into the sewer and then smush one in half and throw him in a pipe. And then it did it. And everyone's like, who's it? And you can't see him. You're an adult, you can't see him. Maybe they're just a
Do you
set of
feel
little
this is a
fuckers.
bit of a commentary on...
Maybe they offed Stan, shanked Mike,
Well, because they set up
pay
the
for
fact
my
that
dinner.
It still exists because the
Give
rest
me
of
a
the
bite.
town pretends it doesn't
Yeah.
exist. But
Yeah, so that's
Like-
what they're saying.
Yeah, well, when like Bev's getting like bullied by Henry and his sweet flock of seagulls
He
hair,
has got good hair.
and like that old guy's just like watering his plants, minding his own business, and Henry's there like getting into Bev's face and just being like, "Nyeh,"
Yeah,
being
it's all
right,
over it.
just being right aggressive and that, and then the guy's just like, "Morning."
But then that's what they say happens.
No, but we see it. We see
Yeah, we see it from their point of view, though. I reckon it's them. I reckon they're a set of little bastards who are out killing people and blaming it on a fake clown that no one else can see.
But then in
Convenient.
part 2, we see it from their perspective where... I mean,
How did they all forget though?
Yeah, they'll
They
forget.
forgot. If I'd seen something that had terrified me for life, if I saw a clown coming out of my goddamn plug hole,
Yeah.
like if I were in shower, like I'd stay at a swimming pool, but I can't swim, so I'm not going to go there.
What?
But I can't swim.
Another time.
So if I'm there, like having a shower, like singing some Kate Bush, washing my hair and that, and like
Braiding your hair.
braiding my hair, having a handy.
I wanted to ask, getting a handy?
But I'm there, like, and then Tim Curry as a clown, like, opens plug hole, pops his head through, and be like, "All right, Katty, how's it going?" I would shit my pants.
You wouldn't forget that.
And remember that for life.
But is this a bit like, especially with them being kids, is it a bit like trauma?
Selective
You forget the things that you're...
Well, Stephen King talks about the fact that, like, as an adult, you think you know what happened to you as a kid, but you don't. You
Yeah.
have this, like, small amount of memory of little select points, and he's kind of talking about how the fact that that's what's happened to these guys.
Bullshit.
I mean, even as an adult, I mean, the police, they have to deal with this all the time. So when an incident happens, if there's an eyewitness, even with an eyewitness account, they can only say to a certain degree, I think it's something like, I can't remember the percentage, but say like something like 60% they can actually trust. So, because even if someone's seen it, they're still influenced so much by what's going on, their own personal views, that it's not necessarily 100% accurate, their description of what happened.
If you saw a clown coming out your plug hole, you'd remember. I got stuck between two garages by my face when I was a kid playing hide and seek. I remember that.
What?
Yep, playing hide and seek.
Yeah, but garages are big, and they don't exactly
far
sneak up
apart.
on you.
Well, it was like there was like two garages, like car garages.
So you stuck your head in there and couldn't
Well,
get
no,
it out.
there was like a little bit of a gap, and I was playing hide and seek, and I'm like, you know what, this is a really sweet place to hide, I'm going to get in this. So got in it, some other guy got in, like some other kid got in, not a grown man.
Oh, hey! You fell into my trap.
Some like other kid.
Was it a guy dressed as a clown?
No!
Was it Jimmy Savile?
This is well, maybe, possibly. It was that time. I did look really young and really wanted a spinal tap, so. But, like, shimmied down this little gap, and like this other kid that was playing hide and seek with us came shimmying down, and he's like, "Oh, get further up, they're gonna see us." Got further up, my face got trapped. I've got a scar on my cheek because of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
The fire brigade had to come and like cut out this guy's garage and get me out because my head is so big it got stuck between two garages.
So you had to cut through the garage?
Yeah.
But you couldn't just like once it got in, you couldn't just pull it back out.
Loop your head?
No, my like a stray cat.
Yeah. Just squirted some like KY.
Oh, I thought you said loop it.
No, loop.
What?
No, like a loop on a pole. No, like, have you seen that bit in X-Men where that guy like squeezes his head through the bars? That could have been you. You could have been that guy, lady.
Surely.
But you remembered that.
I remember.
The point of that weird story is you remembered it, and you won't forget it when you're 40, getting in a bath, about to have a handy.
But
The head's getting stuck.
But do you remember the colour of the clothes that the kid that shimmers in with you was wearing?
Do I remember the colour? No, because he wasn't. It's not like he was a clown pulling his head. Like, oh yeah, he was wearing like some drop crotch pants and and some pom poms.
All I'm saying is there's information that your brain forgets, and you don't always get to decide.
Right, either whether it's a clown or just like a guy, or maybe even like a snake coming out of the pipe hole. You're gonna remember something coming out of the pipe hole.
If that kid was dressed as a clown, he would go in, shimmy him out, and you'd remember him. Oh, he's dressed as a clown.
Yeah.
But then you'd have a memory in your head of how he was dressed as a clown. But then if you looked at a picture, you went, "Oh, I pictured that clown outfit different." It's a subtle change, but there's changes like that. And what I'm saying with trauma, it's kind of like that, but
I think though we're like forgetting all about the clown is a bit much.
Yeah.
I feel
That's not
they set
subtle.
with the ending, they set up the supernatural element of it, and it was more of a supernatural.
Nice little pointer there. So why don't we talk about the ending?
Segue.
Yeah.
Yes. These were
What the fuck? Like, what happened?
Why is it some sort of weird alien man crab?
It was
with
Alf.
Human. It was Alf, but it and not it. Sorry, the thing and some other stuff all mushed into one. E.T.'s fingers.
He had E.T.'s
fingers.
fingers. Yeah. But why?
It
why
looked
did
really
it have to do
greasy
that?
as well.
It did look like greasy.
Well,
like it
this is exactly how bad
Maybe
of
it
a
stands handy.
adaptation it was. In the book, it makes it very clear that the fact, the reason it's a giant spider nonsense thing is it's almost like a Cthulhu type character where you can't really pick, even if it showed its true form, you wouldn't be able to understand, you wouldn't be able to take it in. So it takes this form of, even when it's not being a clown, of something that just you find the most scary and most...
Yeah, but I get that, and...
Why did it have a weird belly though? Like
Yeah, a weird spider six-pack.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
That guy
though.
gets head.
It really, it went back to like
just curling.
It went back to Jason and the Argonauts type style stop motion, which didn't really fit. And the whole idea of the lights that draw you in, like that felt really sandwiched in, like as if they'd filmed part one and like, oh fuck, we've not mentioned those lights. And then they had the bit with Audra where she was at the gas station or whatever, and then it was there. Yeah. And then like that was
Why
it.
did
And
she
like,
hold
the
a
lights.
seatbelt like that was going to save her? Though,
I don't know. Safety
belts.
belts. Safety.
I completely forgot that from when I watched that younger.
Yeah,
I was
I
like, why is this in here?
I think when I was a kid, though, I'd just watch half and then turn it off and be like, yeah, I'm sick of this. Like, it gets shit.
And the bit with the bully, what's the bully's name again?
Henry.
Henry, so he sees it. Well, but he
What
just
with
goes
the dog's
by
head?
What?
He sees a clown body with the dog's head.
Oh, that's later on when Henry's escaping the mental asylum because that warden's calling him dog meat.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And he's got like a Rottweiler's head, but in a clown's body.
That dog had no idea what was going on. They were probably just like, lunch. Like that. Oh, are you on about where the lights in the tunnels?
So the tube. I mean, that bit in the tube, I actually liked the fact that it just came in and it sucked him in. And...
Oh, when Belch gets eaten.
Yeah.
That is one of the creepiest bits in it, and that is still a bit now that I was like, that's creepy. The way that like he doesn't resist or anything, he just gets sucked away and he's
But then
dead.
it's followed up by that stupid bit where it passes by him, but then he goes, oh, and there's like dating guys.
Why? Yeah. Well, what about like? I mean, the ending. I feel like we've done it. It's shit. The ending's terrible. The big spider, stupid. Basically, jumped the shark. Like Happy Days. What were the bits that you thought were still creepy? Like now, that bit where he got sucked into the pipe.
Yeah,
that was. I really liked that, and I was like, that's the kind of subtle scares that I am like, yeah, I'm happy. But
I definitely didn't think the bit, you know, in the library when all those balloons are falling.
Yeah.
That wasn't creepy because you could see. I love the fact they did it for real, but it also
like
means,
twitching.
Yeah, everyone was. There's meant to pretend like it's not happening, but then everyone's going, "I'm getting a balloon blowing up in my face." Like,
how are you not going to twitch?
Yeah.
What bits did you like that you thought that's still quite? Thingy Stan killing himself was quite creepy.
Yeah.
The bit where he had the graves lined up.
That was good.
And there was one that was full. I quite liked that. That it wasn't too over the top like Stan.
That was subtle.
But then they ruined it by putting Stan's head in a fridge.
But how does...
Maybe it got stuck in a garage. How does... Oh, sorry.
Screw you. How does it know that Stanley's died though? I was thinking, can it just travel through sewers? Is it just like, because Stan's like, oh, I'm off to go get a bath. And that's where he like tops in Stan. And then it's like, has it just like done some sort of like weird little...
Maybe, because I mean, it is set up as a supernatural being, so he's probably still got a link. Same reason why we've forgotten, because it's like a natural protection that he makes them forget that they exist, but he's still kind of linked to them. Because again, in the book, it goes really weird and is cosmic and is essentially is this massive beast. It goes really like they're in. It's this space beast that's also weirdly trapped on Earth and is essentially it is the ultimate evil and his ultimate nemesis is this weird turtle.
I've heard about this turtle or something.
So he in the book he's got this essentially limitless ability.
But if that's the case, then why didn't he just like, if he knows like he's got this ultimate ability, but these kids have made some sort of like pact to like go back and like just fuck him up again.
Yeah.
Why don't he just wait up until like he needs to feed again in another 30 years, and then like go hunt them down and just eat the faces off? Then they're not going to come back. He's not going to die.
Yeah, this didn't really make much sense.
Yes, none of it made sense. No. They didn't really justify it properly for a scary evil clown.
It was almost like they were just like, we'll talk about the essence. But talking about the book, in the book, there's a scene where Beverly fucks all the boys when they're like 10 years old.
It's to make the bond stronger. They don't really fuck.
Look at you justifying it.
They don't really
Sometimes you're just stuck in between the garage.
You just want an
orgy.
It's just
a handy and a hair not.
Yeah, sometimes someone sprays your hair and they look at you in a certain way and you just think, I want to toss him off. That's what you're trying to say.
Are you saying
it's how all my sexual encounters happen.
Are you saying Beverly was a thirsty bitch?
She was. I mean, she weren't getting enough nonsense from home, so like.
Oh, what with that piece of shit who she was with?
Yeah.
He was alright, but
Just like
his
a papa.
his one weakness though was like hair gel in a tub. He was like, "I'm gonna fuck you up," and then she was like, "Here, have some hair gel." Threw a little tub at him, and he was like, "No."
Some wet look.
Yeah, and that ripped her out on the floor, like squirming around. You leave me, you leave me.
Her arc was really, again, rushed, where you said
Yeah.
she was in this abusive relationship, but she
Go
got
on.
one phone call and went, I am no longer held to this abusive relationship. That's not how it
Yeah, Mike's
What's
got
the
a sweet
backstory then? What's the backstory?
Like, there's a hand job. I'm just going to say it straight off the bat. But no hair braiding. I'm not going to repeat every part of it. I don't know. I don't have I've never been a woman in an abusive relationship before, so I've got less context. But I have been a guy in a relationship where a woman brings me beer, so I've got more context.
Do you braid her hair?
That's all about braiding hair.
I think it's probably time that we decide whether this film goes in the Hall of Fame or the Hall of Shame.
We haven't even mentioned the bit about the spider being kicked to death.
Yeah, they just like boot it a little bit.
And that's it, it's done. They just don't they rip its heart out though? Is that what they're trying to say?
Yeah, that like Bev gets us like a badass slingshot skills out and like gets like shoots the silver back at him, which Mike goes and gets. Like he is one poor soul.
I know, poor Mike. He works
like-
so hard, doesn't he? Goes back down, gets the silver,
He wedges
stays
one-
in the town.
He's really the forgotten, like, dismissed hero of this. Just really, I don't know.
Yeah, poor Mike. I think we should take a moment to just reflect on poor Mike.
We should support Mike's. He works at a library, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah, we should.
We should support
We'll
Mike's
send a
library.
check over.
Yeah.
Some of the royalties we get from this podcast, we'll send it over to him.
Send him a book or two. I've got some spares lying.
But like Bev gets the slingshot, silvers it up, and then they go and just get some kicks in,
Yeah,
booting him,
yeah.
and then like rips its heart out, and they're all like, yeah.
And then order comes down from the web, and Bill, Bill has to put on a bike though. to get her out of
what
it.
is that? What is that? It's like, you know what I'm
completely
going to do?
forgot about
I'm
that.
going to put this bitch that can't move and just stares at shit. I'm going to put her on a bike, which I can't really ride myself because it's a child bike and I'm a grown man.
Yeah, but I've fixed the puncture. Cheers, Mike. Again.
10 out of 10. While he's laying up in hospital because he's been shanked.
Yeah, he's been shanked to shit.
And then it
And
went
like-
down like a steep
Yeah,
fucking hill.
when there's
He
traffic,
did. Yeah.
he has no consideration for anyone's life, not his, not Gormless lady, not the people, pedestrians.
Yeah, but if
and he's just
Gormo
like,
had
"Fuck
died,
you,
he'd have
bitch."
just been like, oh, it was a clown that you can't see.
I want that movie to end with him going down a hill, hit by a car, and then
It's
just like Mike
Pennywise.
coming over them.
But did you notice that it was some like really shit stuntman with a ponytail? Did you notice on the wide shot? It was just someone who didn't have like the same build or anything. It was like this brick shit house of a man with a little fucking rat tail on his shoulder going down with a fucking dummy on the front or some shit.
It's like,
It
let's
was
just
terrible.
stop here. Oh my god, you've come back to life. This is so great. Let's neck on.
So what's the moral of the story then? Face your fears?
Possibly, or don't get nonced.
Yeah, don't get nonce.
Piss on clowns?
Piss
I
on
know Bill
clowns?
pissed on the clown, but
Yeah.
I feel that would have stopped him instantly. He's down in the sewer. I'm going to piss on you. He's like, I'm done with this.
Don't get into sewers.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
go into sewers, yeah. Even if your dad's waving you over, your dead dad.
Don't be scared of shit.
Don't be scared of shit, that's it.
Yeah.
Even riding a bike with no helmet down a busy street, don't be scared of that.
Don't be.
I did like it when he gave Mike a little cog as well, or a backy, whatever you call
A
it.
little coggy.
Yeah.
Coggy, yeah.
And when I liked it when Mike went up the seesaw. Down.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
The
He's got
little
some moves,
moment.
poor Mike.
But Ben and Beverly, true love.
Yeah, and they had a kid, didn't they?
Oh yeah, no, I learned from that you can just write a very terrible poem and then send it to someone
Anonymously.
anonymously,
And get
and
handy.
then wait for 30 years,
Yeah.
and then eventually they'll fall in love with you, based on no information about each other at all. Just you wrote a poem, and then 30 years later, after not speaking, you're in love.
It's because his heart changed after he bandaged up that little fat kid. You remember the 90s kids?
Yeah.
Oh, we
And he's
forgot
like,
the
here you
best
go,
line,
champ.
where he goes, "Kiss me, fat boy."
That's got to bring us to the point now. Got to decide, is it 1990 It going in the Hall of Fame or the Hall of Shame? Katty.
I think I still think Fame. Just Tim Curry as Pennywise, like, he's terrifying. Even though it sounds like he smokes like 80 a day and he's from New Jersey, and he will try and finger you while you're asleep at a party.
It's like E.T.
E.T. does that. He
I-
hides in your tennis and fingers you.
Then wipes your memory afterwards. But yeah, I'd say Fame.
Hall of Fame, Hobo, what are you going for? Shame or Fame?
I remember this very much as a scary film when I was a kid, and I was really happy to revisit it. And then I watched it, and I didn't know why I thought any of this was scary. It was terribly done. Tim Curry does carry the film, but it's still not enough to. I love Tim Curry, and I do love. I mean, I think the second part is more enjoyable just for the fact that, like we said, Tim Curry is literally just hamming it up and
He's having a great
full
time.
on. Yeah, he's having a fun time, because I don't think the first bit of him being creepy landed as well as I remembered it. But even that fun time he's having isn't enough to say. I'm going to have to say a Hall of Shame, because
Hall of Shame?
I would not want. I don't really want to watch this again. I like the little. I'd watch the clips on YouTube of "Kiss Me, Fat Boy" and the bits, but other than that, no, I just wouldn't want to revisit this. So
That's a shame.
you're the decider.
Yeah, like Katty, going Hall of Fame. I'm not even
Nice.
going to build up any like suspense or anything. No, I'm going Hall of Fame. I think for Tim Curry alone, I thought he was quality. I thought the first half was better than the second, so I'm against you on that one. I thought the first half was more sinister. I cared about the kids more. Second
agree in
half
that sense.
seemed rushed. Didn't really like the touching of each other. Although I think the second half had that sweet Irish cop in
Oh, let's do
who came in. And,
Power Rangers, hand
What you
on
doing
hand.
down here? But no, I really like it. I like the first bit with Georgie. That's creepy still.
I agree. The first bit is still better, but
There are some, it's
if I
little
had to
points
revisit it,
throughout. But no, I think it needs to be about an hour shorter, or if you're going to be 3 hours, cover some story. Tell us about the hair braiding. Tell us about, like, his hand job, whatever. Just go into a bit more detail.
tell us about the orgy.
But no, it's not a great film, but it's got great moments and a great performance from Tim Curry, so I'm definitely putting in Hall of Fame.
3 hours, and you think that's enough to be Hall of Fame?
Is
Yeah.
it better than Wild Wild West? Yes.
No, no.
And that's it. So, It, 1990s Stephen King novel-based film of It, is going in the Hall of Fame.
Woo!
Woohoo!
I will not woo.
Wow. You feeling thirsty, bitch? Come down to Mrs. Kirsch's Tea Rooms.
Are you looking for a punch of a repair kit for no apparent reason? Maybe you want an adult bike and you're a child? No, that's... Damn it.